Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is Season 5, Episode 2. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video, and also, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe, and you can leave your comments below on this episode and my commentary. So let's get into this episode. So I don't think I'll be before you too long, but hey. This episode is episode 2, entitled Walking the Tightrope. So we start this episode. They're starting Salt Lake City different. Now, we haven't gotten the taglines as of yet. And they kind of just went right into the episode, which was very interesting. So, anyways, we start off the episode with Bronwyn and Lisa. They're in the car. They're talking about what happened last night. They talk about Brittany. Bronwyn felt like Brittany was coming for both her and Mary, a little bit more harder on Mary at the time. And they talk about the dinner. And Bronwyn said, I'm still hungry because I really didn't get to eat because of the fighting and back and forth of it. Now, Bronwyn tells Lisa that she was right for most of what she was saying. Angie ends up calling and asking Lisa. I think she put Angie on speakerphone, and Lisa said, Angie asked, can we meet? And she said yes. Bronwyn, now I'm gonna say this. I like you. I think you're telling the truth when you're with the person. If you guys understand what I mean, because it's like, because later on she's going to be like, about Whitney. Well, she didn't say it to her face. She said it to someone else. I'm like, well, okay, I'll discuss it when we get there. But it just made me pause. Like, I think you're being authentic, but at the same time, it seems like you're agreeing with the person that you're with at the time. I don't know. Oh, we get to see Whitney's family for 2 minutes. They're unpacking right now. And then we move on to Angie's family. These are what I call interludes on Housewife shows, where they just give you a quick little 20-second reveal or whatever. Who was she talking to? Whitney's family. Angie's family. Angie, I guess, is talking with her husband and all that. I think she was saying that I don't know. I'm kind of confused at the moment. I think Angie was talking to her family, but it was about Lisa anyways. I'm sorry for rambling. It's about being more honest with Lisa. Like, she still wants to be friends with her, but I got to be more honest with her, and I'm not going to back down on what I say. Mary and Robert Jr. Mary talks about how Robert still lives in their home. She admits that it was that she shelters him. And he doesn't have a job. He doesn't go to school. He runs off and gets married. And didn't tell her. But they live in their home. Moves in the wife. We thought they were shacking up, but they're married. But basically, he's on a quarter of the house. He's kind of more separate from the home a little bit. I think I remember her saying that. But anyways, now, with a lot of people are like, okay, so this man just doing whatever. But what she's saying is that she spoiled him. And she knows that, but she doesn't really have it in her to kick him out or make him do anything, at least for now. I don't know what she's going to do in the future. My thoughts are, and I may get shot, I'm cool with it. Let some nepotism for black children fall upon them. Let them not have to rush into anything in life. Of course, look, y'all got to teach him something and let him land on his own 2 feet at some point. But just let it be. Let it not be that you got to get it out the mud. No, I got it out of my mom's purse. That's where I got it from. Let it be, because we don't get that. We don't hear that hardly at all. So let it be. Let it be. I don't care. They talk a little bit about Brittany and how she was trying to say that she was poor. And she made a statement like, how dare you? It's like when you're trying to say that I'm not appreciative of God. And some people did kind of question, like, what is she talking about? And of course, there are people that are non-religious, and it isn't even really that deep. It's really about being grateful for whatever state she was in. She's not going to say, I was poor, meaning I did without. I mean, poor is lack. No, God gave me what I needed during the time that I needed it in. So I'm appreciative for what he has done and what he is doing. That's basically what it was. It wasn't deep. Lisa and Brownwyn, they're still driving. They talk about Brownwyn's daughter, Gwendolyn. She had her child when she said 19 or 20. And of course, she was a part of the Mormon faith. I don't know if she's still a part of it right now. But she was judged, and the child's father didn't want anything as far as responsibility for the child that he created. They have this, well, she does talk about it a little bit later. The daughter and her have this weird relationship due to the fact that the father wasn't around. And at least right now, she's waiting for her daughter Gwendolyn to graduate, but she knows that she's going to be really bothered that she's gone because of how tight-knit that they were. And she clung on to her during the times where people were judging her and all that, and not having your baby daddy there. Lisa picks up Heather, and guess where they go? They go to Wendy's. I said, these housewives. Okay. Oh, she did talk about Gwendolyn wanting to open up a coffee shop. I said, okay, good. She's already ambitious, and she hasn't even graduated, I think, high school. Then they end up talking about Whitney. Brownwyn has some choice things to say about how she was, about the whole healing. I'm healing. Look, the only well, I do have a lot of problems with Whitney. What is bothering me about that whole conversation is that how are you going to tell somebody not to weaponize your healing journey? Nobody knows, your trauma, when you do it yourself, for one. It's like, and then you try to bring it up as in some type of way to try to get people to back up off you. Ma'am, it looks like whatever therapy session you got going on, Whitney, it looks like you've learned how to manipulate more. That's what I see. Heather is feeling away about what Brownwyn is saying, because it's like she's feeling away because now we got to talk about the girl Chime from last season, who had all these strong opinions about the friend group before even knowing them. But she's going to hear on Whitney's side what's going on. We'll see that a little bit later. All right, so the Marks. Now, y'all know that I am Team Marks. I'm Team Brooks. I know y'all don't like him. I don't care. I usually go against the grain anyways. I love them. So, Seth does have a new job. He's in Ohio. Right now, he's in Salt Lake City with them. And they're making a lot of Jewish foods. They're learning how to cook them. Shatska fries, I think it's called. I'm probably saying it wrong. Please correct me in the comments. But Meredith and Seth, they talk. Meredith tells Seth that she's going to have her own bar mitzvah. Normally, it's a celebration amongst boys at the age of 12 or 13. It's like a rite of passage, and it's not really something that's really done too well in the Jewish church as far as for women. Boys, that's something you can do all day. But Meredith is taking her faith even more serious. She always knew she was Jewish. Her mom didn't do bar mitzvah, her grandmother and all of that, but it was really sentimental to her, and it was sentimental to Seth. Like, Meredith and Seth are a lot different than we saw in the first few seasons. And people, I guess, didn't believe it or whatever, but you can see that they worked on the marriage, and it's a lot better than I've seen. But y'all let me know what y'all think. But it got very emotional and sentimental, and Seth was kind of tearing up, and Meredith just kind of let the water down. All right, so Lisa and Angie, they talk. Lisa, you were really doing really good, because you did have a point with Angie, like, I don't tell you stuff to go run off to someone else. I don't run off with your stuff. So why did you do it to me? Angie in the confession was like, well, I'm trying to give, at least tell Whitney what's going on so that she can apologize. Lisa knows how to talk, and if she really thought that there was supposed to be some type of counsel to bridge this relationship, I think she would have at least let you do that. So I really feel like with Angie, you were in a scene and you were playing telephone. I think it's better to admit that than trying to act like, oh, you wanted Whitney to apologize. But she didn't want to apologize. She came in there being disrespectful and didn't care what she said. So it seemed more like gossip to me, Angie. And what I will say again, Lisa, I don't know how many times you think you got to keep saying to this woman about loyalty. You've said it a lot. Some people think that you are wanting soldiers and not really friendships. I don't know. But Lisa, in this comment, well, it turned out into an argument. For some reason, you're trying to be this dominant person and won't let anyone talk. And you want to talk over them and talk a little bit louder. You may not even yell. Ma'am, that's not the way to be. Because I'm telling you right now, if it was me and you, I promise I would get up from that table and you will never hear me from me again. I'll just say, hey, while I'm in this group, hey, because you're not going to just talk over me and just be crazy and belligerent. You're saying that you're Lisa Barlow, and this is just who I am. I'm going to be using my hands and all that. Cool, or whatever. I mean, who you were talking to was across the table, so nothing should happen that is at least threatening or provoking. So anyways, Lisa ends up leaving, just saying, I gotta go, I love you, but I don't see Lisa and Angie really being friends that much longer. It doesn't look that way. All right, so we go over to Brown's home. I really needed somebody that I really mess with on the timeline to have made comments about Brown's home. Brown and her husband and child had been living in this home for about a year and a half. It's hardly decorated. She's got certain rooms decorated, but now she's bringing over an interior decorator so that she can mess with the other rooms. And I'm just wondering, I gotta ask this because it's in my head, are you renting Brown? Because a year and a half, because you're really trying to convince us, oh yeah, I just take my time, that's just me. So I give the eye, but then I'm also giving an eye. I'm gonna just say this much about you and Todd's relationship. We get into him, where he first earning his money. He's the one that created the Palm Pilot. I haven't seen one of them since the late 90s, early 2000s or whatever. Those are, or maybe 90s, but I haven't seen that in so long. And yes, I'm from that generation. I remember a Palm Pilot. I never used one, But then he moved on from that, and now he does private equity. He stays in New York 2 times a week. Brown said, I'm probably a lot, and probably have drove him to at least get out the house a couple of times during the week. But how she met him, they were at some type of marketing function or whatever, and she said that she didn't notice that Todd was flirting with her. I really think that Brown is trying to sell us that their love is real. It's not about the money. It's not that. He was flirting through her through email, not even a DM, y'all. But you remember last week she talked about she don't see age and all that good. It's like, for me, I don't feel it necessary that you have to carry on and just say everything's just love. There's nothing within me that says that I'm a gold digger, And I say it for her, and I just say it in general. I don't know about the relationship, not for real. But I mean, Brown, let's stop. We even seen the picture that was for over 10 years ago or so. Stop it. Don't do that. Now you may not have known that he was hitting on you, whatever. But ma'am, and you knew that you were amongst a bunch of men, and you didn't think nobody was going to be hitting on you this weekend, or that whole function that you guys were at. I'm doing this a lot. I love Brown. Yeah, so she starts talking about her children, about being estranged from some of her children. And I think that when Mary said, why do we care? How can you be so hype about getting with a man, but you can't fix nothing with your children? And then all of a sudden, you're mom shaming me. How dare you? It's not mom shaming, ma'am. It struck a chord in Mary because of how her mother treated her. It was always a man that was coming in between taking care of her children. They didn't have food and all of that sometimes because she was too busy running up to a man, her and her siblings. So it's like, you're sitting up here fronting this relationship and you can't fix nothing with your daughters. You're so nice, but You can't fix none. Bronwyn chimes in as to how, because I think Heather at this point wanted to stick up for Brittany, like, so you're not interested in getting to know her? Not like this. And Brittany was like, oh, just shut up. Not at that point, but she did mention. And Mary was like, no, you shut me up. Shut me up. And Lisa was like, oh, I think it's going a little bit deep. And Mary was like, no, it needs to get deeper. Go, Mary. So Bronwyn does chime in and, you know, saying, you do say a lot of things. The most that we are really getting to know about you, it's very, I forgot the word she says, but basically it's chaotic. Like, is there anything else that we can learn about you? And you need to really choose your words and how you word stuff and what you're presenting to us, because it's quite crazy. And Heather said, well, I know that you were saying positive things about Heather, but then to her, or to Whitney, but you were just in the van saying da, 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 about Whitney. And what's her name? Bronwyn said, I know. And I told her exactly what I did and said. Like, one thing it looks like Bronwyn's not going to be caught up with is being fake. Even though I did say, there's just things that I'm not understanding. Like, why would you say this? But I don't think you said that to Lisa. So I don't know in regards to that. I know what I said earlier. But at least you're not going to catch her up. Heather, to me, tried to play what she thought she was going to play with Chime. And it wasn't necessary, Heather, because you're gathering information. You're not even telling the next person, hey, well, she was saying this, so I don't know what, you know. Whitney didn't take no offense. It was very, she knew what Bronwyn said and how she said it, and no. So Heather sometimes trying to slam down an Uno out is not really necessary. I did type this out. You know, use a draw 2, draw 4. You can mention it, but you're trying to make her, unless you got some PTSD or something, like whatever. So we get in on Lisa and Whitney. They arguing, da 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 da. I don't really care about it, but anyways, Whitney apologized. It wasn't her intent to hurt. And Lisa's still doing all this yelling. Meredith was saying, you know, I wish I got an apology from Whitney. Am I going to get it? I don't think so. I don't know, Meredith. I think right now, just let it go and move on to something else. That's all I can really say. Then at the end, what's her face? Whitney invites everyone to Milwaukee. It's not the chosen place for housewives to go, but hey, to Trixie's gay bar. Some people are arguing about Meredith having a storyline, but what is Whitney's storyline? Moving into an empty home? Okay. But anyways, that's all I do have. I rambled on a lot for no reason at all. But I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Leave your thoughts below. You know, I was just trying to make sure I remembered stuff. I jotted stuff down or whatever, but hopefully you did enjoy. Please like this video and also subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, peace.